Alright guys, welcome to the NFL predictions week 5. And this has been a roller coaster of a season. Like the last few years, like you kind of predict who could come out on top, but lately it's been interesting to see who upsets who. And I've got some things to say about my team but we'll get to that. So, as always, I could be wrong about this, but it's always fun, and I know these don't get a lot of views, but again, it's all for fun. So let's get into it with tomorrow's game, and that is finally a good Thursday night game, and that is the LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Rams embarrassed themselves after beating Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, and Seahawks made a comeback. So this, like I said, these NFC, like whenever we get to divisional games, they're always so unpredictable. Like they're really like a very unpredictable force. So this is going to be another tough one for me to say. I still have some doubts on the Seahawks secondary as well as their defense, but the Rams at the same time, like did everyone just get drunk off of beating Tom Brady? And yeah, I don't know what happened there. But, you know, again, any given Sunday can be different, but I think I'm still going to go with the Rams on this one. I think that loss to the Cardinals is going to be the wake-up call, and they're going to be pissed off, and yeah. But who knows? And then Sunday at 9:30 in the morning, not a single fucking soul's wake up for this game. That is the Jets and the Falcons. Oh boy, a Tank Bowl game in the morning. And it's in London, too. Yeah, Jets and Falcons. Jets, you got your first win. I will get to that soon. Falcons, this is two terrible teams. This is like the definition of Tank Bowl right here, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing, like, either team could win and everyone would still lose. Like, that's what it really feels like, is that London just got dumped with this. Aren't you London, I feel bad for you. You're already dealing with Brexit, with the fallout of the terrible Brexit thing. And now you have to deal with a Jets and Falcons game. Literally two teams America didn't want here, and they dumped off on your front porch. I'm sorry. So, this could go either way. I think I'm going to give it slightly to the Falcons. Who knows? But again, who knows? Who the fuck cares even? So next up, we got the Patriots and the Texans. Yep. Texans, you not only get the Patriots, you get pissed off Patriots. And the pissed off Patriots are very angry after losing to Tom Brady to a doink. So, like the Buffalo Bill, I do think there is going to be more, you're actually going to get points, but yeah, you're still the Texans, and the Patriots are going to be very angry with you, so they're going to probably salt the earth. So next up we have the Lions and the Vikings. Lions, I had you try to pull off the upset against the Bears, but that didn't happen. So it kind of proves that you're still Detroit. You are still Detroit. And Vikings, you've been playing hard, but then bad Kirk Cousins finally reared his head. Vikings, I think this is another game where either team could either pull off the win. And, it's a toss-up. This is another tough one to call. But I think I'm going to give it to the Vikings. I think they've just been losing to heartbreaker games, except for the last one. That was all on them. Because Kirk Cousins finally woke up and was like, oh yeah, I'm a shitty QB. So yeah, I'm going to give this to the Vikings, but it could go either way. I say that a lot. So next up we have the Eagles and the Panthers. Panthers, I know you took a devastating loss, and I kind of thought the Cowboys would beat you in this. I did hold out hope, but I kind of figured they would. But now, Panthers, you are still a dominant... I still think you are I still call the Panthers a dominant, force to be reckoned with. I still think they are a dark horse candidate for the playoffs. Eagles, you were close. You were 5 points behind Kansas City, and then Mahomes woke up and destroyed you. Eagles, I still don't have a lot of faith in you. It's very clear Jalen Hurts is sporadic, and your secondary is garbage. Your offense is even worse. Panthers, your defense is getting better, and now you got Stephon Gilmore, although it's not 2019 Stephon Gilmore, so it's a little hard to pick on that. But your defense is growing even stronger every day, and the offense is getting better. I think I might give this to the Panthers. I know it was a heartbreaker loss to the Cowboys, but it's any given Sunday, and they still, like, in the end, kind of, like, caught up to him and were giving him the Cowboys fits. So, but however, I do say, Panthers, this is the team, like, I know the Eagles are shit this season, but, like, if you really want to make a statement to be, like, we're a force to be reckoned with, hang on. Sorry about that. So, where was I? Oh, right. So anyway, yeah, So I'm going to give this to the Panthers. Eagles, you seriously need help, and I would not be shocked if they keep trying for Deshaun Watson's number. Although, you'd have to go with the baggage that comes along with it, which I am not going to make excuses for. Fuck you, Watson. Anyway, so, moving on to our next one is Saints in Washington. You know, Saints, you're becoming really hard to, figure out. Like, you're becoming maddeningly... You're becoming maddeningly inconsistent, and I don't know what to make of you. Washington, has a really good defense, and you've suffered some injuries, I know, and your defense has been carrying most of the team, but Winston's also been inconsistent as hell. And I get it, any given Sunday, but the Giants, really? You had to lose to them? And I understand, any given Sunday, but yeah. So, but at the same time, Washington also has, some bad offense, but really good defense. Saints, I'm going to give this to you slightly, but if you lose this game, it's going to be okay, now we really have some questions. Anyway, moving on to the Titans and Jaguars. What was that last week? No, really, what was that? What was that shit show I saw against the Jets Titans? I understand you didn't have A.J. Brown. I understand you didn't have Julio Jones. No excuse. You made Zach Wilson look good, and that Jets defense look good. I don't know what happened. Really, if we didn't have a bad defense to begin with, it's clear now. If anyone had any doubts that we had a really bad defense, it's bad. I wish we made a play for Stephon Gilmore. I don't even know what to say. If we lose to the Jaguars, the walking shit show that's going on, that's when and I understand the AFC South has literally become tank division, which I'm not happy about. But at least we're the leading in the division. But look what we're leading against at the same time. So I'm going to give this to the Titans. Hopefully that god awful game against the Jets was a wake up call. But if we lose here, I'm going to be pissed. Just utterly pissed. So let's talk about two terrible defenses, Buccaneers and Dolphins. Dolphins, you had so much potential this season, and you immediately shit the bed right out the gate. So, yeah. Jacoby Brissett, you're trying your best, but it's clear past, and Tua's out for the whole season, and it looks like Deshaun Watson might get that trade he wanted with the Dolphins. I'm pretty sure if they lose this game, they're going to be like, okay, Watson, you're in. But Buccaneers, yeah, you beat the Patriots, but sheer dumb luck. Also, your defense and secondary is completely wrecked now, and Richard Sherman didn't look like he was playing his best out there tonight. I mean, last Sunday. So, yeah. But that offense, you still don't have Gronkowski. You're being wrecked with injuries. So it makes me wonder. This could be a toss-up game, but I'm going to give it still to the Buccaneers. We've got two terrible defenses, and it's just going to see which defense fails first. I think that's going to be the deciding factor of this game, is whichever defense is going to fail first. Anyway, next up we have the Packers and Bengals. Bengals, I'm glad you were 3-1. I'm glad Joe Burrow's made a comeback, and you've beaten the Steelers, and it's been a 3-1 season for you. You've rarely had a good winning season right out the gate. It's usually been you are the walking punching bag of outside of the Jets. But I think that comes to an end. I mean, I'm pretty sure you might play sorry, so many stops and starts with this video. Jesus Christ. But yeah, Bengals, you might play spoiler for a few other games, but I don't think this is this one. However, Packers are limping at this point. It's very clear the Packers are kind of limping into this game after injuries upon injuries. And I understand you wanted to make a play for Gilmore, but you just didn't have the cap space. I get it. But yeah, I think I'm going to give this to the Packers. But at the same time, like, Bengals, like, could play spoiler to some teams, and maybe that you could be one of them, Packers. I'm just saying. Anyway, so now we move to the Broncos and the Steelers. Oh boy, I should call this the battle of the two terrible QBs. You've got Big Ben Roethlisberger, and you've got Drew Lock, or should I say Drew can't throw a fucking ball Lock. Teddy Bridgewater is out with a concussion. Roethlisberger and the defense, the now injuring defense, is now like limping along for the Steelers, and Roethlisberger can't throw a goddamn ball. Offense is crumbling, but at the same time, Broncos, there's nothing to laugh at for you because you got utterly wrecked by the Ravens, like everyone knew you would. Nice 3-0 start, right? Well, now you get to play the big boys. But, however, having said that, depending on how well Drew Lock plays, depending on how well he plays this game, you've still got a decent offense and a good defense. Steelers are limping at this point. Like, this is gonna if Roethlisberger loses to Drew Lock, then it's time to say goodbye. And maybe those rumors about taking Cam Newton might not be rumors. They might actually happen. Although, to be fair, Cam Newton isn't exactly prize goods at this point either. So, well, and who else you got? Mason Rudolph, you know, helmet head. Who else you got? Oh yeah, Dwayne Haskins, that idiot. I'm gonna give it slightly the Broncos. I think the Steelers are now just kind of like a dead horse right now, and the other horse is going to stomp it into the ground. But that depends. But this is really a tale of two really bad QBs. If Teddy Bridgewater was in the game, I'd have been like, okay, like Steelers have a better have little chance. But since it's Drew Lock, it's like maybe they'll come back and Steeler fans will be like, oh, Big Ben still got it. Let's go Steelers. Anyway. Anyway. Next up, we got the Bears and the Raiders. Matt Nagy, in his infinite goddamn wisdom, has decided to make Justin Fields his QB after beating the Lions. Nick Foles is right there, dude. Like, it's way too early for Justin Fields. You are just going to get him killed on that offensive line. And even the defense is, like, weakening. Raiders, I think you got a decent shot of winning here. I know you lost to the Chargers, but, like, the Chargers are a serious threat this season. I think they might actually, like, they're starting to prove they're a real, like, powerhouse in the AFC. But Raiders, I'm going to give this one to you. Justin Fields, Matt Nagy is clearly going to lose his job. I feel bad for Justin Fields. I feel bad for Bears fans in general. So I'm going to give this one to the Raiders. I think they're going to be hungry for a win after that blowout, that near blowout loss to the Chargers. Anyway. So next up we got a really interesting one. I'm really excited to see how this one plays out. And that is the Browns and the Chargers. Chargers, like I said, are becoming a force to be reckoned with in not just the AFC West, but the AFC in general. Browns, I know you had a frustrating game with the Vikings. Every team has one of those kind of games. I know Browns fans, you're angry that, Baker didn't really play well. The offense was kind of Even Stefanski made no sense sometimes. But you have to understand, every team has one of those games where you're not firing on all points. Like, sometimes you just have those games. Like, it's nothing to be ashamed about. Now, if you lose... Now, having said that, though, this is a toss-up game. Like, this is an opponent I think the Browns kind of need to win against. The Chargers are becoming a serious threat. After their win against Kansas City, yeah, they might there is rumors that they might be the new Kings of the West. I'm not jumping to that conclusion, but there is rumblings of that. I will say that this is another going to be just a head-on fight. I think the Browns defense is going to give that offense some serious trouble. And Chargers, you have been clearly known for just utterly shooting yourselves in the foot. It's to a maddening point. So the Chargers might penalize themselves into losing. So this is a toss-up, and I think I'm going to give it slightly to the Browns. I just think their defense is finally going to be clicking again. Baker's probably going to be more focused, and they'll probably, hopefully, learn from that Vikings game and, put up a fight. But this is another one of those could go either way games. Next up, we got the Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys, look at you with Dak Prescott. I mean, you still have Mike McCarthy weighing you down like a fucking anchor, but, Dak's back, and your offense is on point. Your defense, I don't know why you cut... you had made some cuts. I understand you had to do it for cap space for Dak, but, you guys are starting to become a very dangerous team. Look who you fought. Really, the only loss you've had was to the Bucks, and that was a close game. The other times, you've just been destroying the people. Panthers put up a decent fight and tried to come back, but then you just put the knife in it and twisted. And that's what's probably going to happen here. Giants, I still don't know how you beat the Saints, but, that feel-good moment is going to come to an end because I think the Cowboys are just going to wreck you. Yeah. Anyway, moving on now to the 49ers and the Cardinals, the last undefeated team in the NFL this season. Cardinals, you are doing great. I think Kyler Murray's having himself there's a lot of talk of him taking on the title of MVP this season. Cardinals have been really just savage on a lot of people, and they just murdered the Rams after they beat the Bucks. 49ers, you just lost Jimmy Garoppolo. Stop me if you heard that one before, of Jimmy Garoppolo being injured. It's kind of like that meme of Squidward being handsome after being hit, and Jimmy Garoppolo hit the wall and became ugly. It's like that Squidward meme. Anyway, so this is going to be, like I said, and the NFC West is going to be a very savage, just brutal competition between all four. And this is another one game that could go either way. But I think I'm going to give it to the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are just really now... I'm pretty sure they're not going to go undefeated. But I don't... I could be wrong, but I don't think it'll be the 49ers to give them their first L. I think they'll have a few more wins under their belt before they take a loss. Now we come to the big game for Sunday night, and that is the Buffalo Bills going into the Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. Oh boy, Chiefs, it has not been a good season for you. You were literally, at one point, one bad Brown snap away from being 0-3. I mean, 0-3. You've literally now had to, claw your way back. There was even a point where I thought the Eagles were going to beat you. So I don't know what's going on, you clearly have some offensive problems. Again, maybe you should have grabbed Gilmore when you had the chance, but whatever. Or maybe you should have made a play for Sherman. Just saying. That secondary is not looking great either. Bills have just been slashing and burning everything like a Mongolian horde. I understand, the last 3 games they've played have been against opponents that you could easily get over 40 points with. But at the same time, they're just dominating people. They're just dominating teams, making a statement oh yeah, that Steelers game, that we're never having that again. We're just going to put the dagger in every team. And this might be the game, and this might be a repeat of the AFC Championship, but I think it might go a lot different. Mahomes is seemingly having some problems with finding targets. It's just fuck it, Tyreek Hill's down there somewhere. That only gets you so many shots. But at the same time, that Bills defense is just going to wreck everything. I've been watching a lot of video of that Bills defense just decimating offensive lines. And I understand, again, the offensive lines we've been seeing from them are not the best, but this is the real litmus test to see if the Bills are the new team in the AFC to beat, much like the Chargers. And that I think the Bills and Chargers are going to play at some point in this season, which will be really cool. That'll be a really good game. So I'm going to give this. This also is the game to prove for the Chiefs if it's time to hit the panic button or not. But you're getting your hands on the panic button, isn't it, Chief fans? It's just kind of hovering there. It backed away from the Eagles. Oh, thank God. Who are we playing next season? Who are we playing next game? The Bills. But my hand's on the button. My hand's on the button. So I'm going to give this one shocker to the Bills. But again, maybe the Chiefs will finally wake up and play up their potential, or they'll just completely prolapse. But this is the litmus test for the Bills to be oh yeah, that Steelers game, that's never going to happen again. So, final game of Week 5 is the Colts and the Ravens. Colts, you got your first win. Congratulations. Here's your blue ribbon. Ravens, you decimated the Browns. I mean the Broncos, excuse me. And it was Drew Lock, to be fair. Teddy Bridgewater was out, but the Ravens are finally looks like they're getting their shit together. And I think they're just like the Colts. Like, you have Carson Wentz, who's somehow being held together by glue and duct tape at this point. Like, I'm just expecting him to walk out on the field like the Frankenstein monster, like just with stitches and bolts in his neck. He's just like, football good, pass good. But they're having like some serious problems, and the Ravens are. I think the Ravens, even though they've been having injuries, they're still like, we're still a playoff contender. Like, the Ravens are still like that playoff contending force. So I'm going to give this to the Ravens. I think the Colts just aren't going to have that kind of firepower, and I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz is going to fall to shit once more. But anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much... I know this video had a lot of stops and starts, but this was another fun one. This was another Week 5. So all 10 of you who watch these videos, just comment below, let me know what you guys thought of this. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.